What's up, Cart Masters? Back with another video covering some more Monster Hunter Rise. Now, as you guys saw from the Nintendo Direct, there was a lot of information that just got released in the Rampage trailer and website. Let's break it all down and cover everything that we can find in the trailers. Links to the website and the Rampage trailer will be in the description with timestamps. But don't forget to drop a thumbs up or down and a comment, as it really helps the channel. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and hit the bell icon to find out the next time I upload. Without further ado, let's get to it. Before we get into the meat and bones of the trailer, I wanted to cover a couple of small things. First off, you've got two more Silkbind attacks revealed in this trailer. The Charge Blade gets a Silkbind where they perform an overhead axe slam and then shoot themselves up into the air to perform a descending SAED or SAED. I'm sure it's data mined somewhere, but as I don't cover leaks, for my own speculation, I want to say it's possible to possibly aid or maybe even use other options for attacks. The other Silkbind attack has a hammer user shooting out silk, winding up for a charge slash similar to the Invincible Gambit, zips forward to close the gap, and finishes off with a slam with presumably high flinch value. No other info since it's a quick tease in the trailer, but I wonder if there's a chance it will get super armor similar to the Invincible Gambit. The skill system is finally shown off, as can be seen in the website. I think a large number of us were under the impression that the skill system was going to be a hybrid of both new and old, but as you can see here, it's exactly like World's skill system, where each piece of armor has skill points or levels for specific skills. Right off the bat, you'll notice returning skills such as Divine Blessing, Critical Eye, and Heroics here, but some new skills like the Wirebug Whisperer and Wall Runner are present. Wirebug Whisper seems to be a skill that increases your passive recovery rate for wirebugs, while Wall Runner decreases your stamina usage while running on walls. Both of which are great skills to have, especially if you favor double pellicles for support and or if you prefer to travel with wirebugs more. I'm sure it also applies to wirebug recovery post Silkbind attacks as well. Talismans are also present, and it's worth mentioning that the pre-order bonus provides the Novice Talisman, which comes with 1 level of Crit Eye, which increases your affinity by 5%, and Wall Runner, which we explained a little earlier ago. While the skill system may just be the returning system from World, it's nice to see the skill breakdown shown here like how it was in the older games. It's definitely a lot easier to read your skills and which armor pieces they come from when they're shown as a chart as opposed to a stack of listed skills. The trailer briefly shows off 2 new maps, which gives us a total of 5 maps plus a stronghold map. First, we've got the Sandy Plains. According to the website, it's a desolate wasteland filled with aggressive monsters that hunger for flesh and blood. Based off what we can see, it's mostly straightforward with open areas. Now, as Capcom mentioned that cool and hot drinks are no longer in the game, you no longer will have to worry about the time of day and the corresponding drink you would have normally have brought to the desert map. Even more so, shown briefly, is the Lava Caverns, a large cave system that's divided into a searing hot area with lava and a cool area with beautiful pure water. What's interesting about this map is that the description basically implies that we'll most likely find a fair mix of not only fire monsters, but possibly other leviathans like Somnicanth or water-type monsters. As all Monster Hunter games tend to do, a couple of monsters including mainstays are formally introduced or flashed in the trailer. Really quickly, if you haven't seen it already before, our big red brute wyvern from Monster Hunter World, the Anjanath, gets a little love in this trailer. You also can't have a desert map without the desert tyrant, Diablos, am I right? Also, if you hated him in World, I certainly didn't, you'll be sad to see that everyone's favorite Super Saiyan, the Rajang, comes back in portable glory. Get ready for some of that hot Rajang punches. Yeah, punches. Now for the monsters that actually get a spotlight. Volvidon, everyone's favorite armadillo slash fanged beast, makes a return from Generations Ultimate. Introduced in Portable 3rd, the Volvidon returns complete with fart on your face so you can't heal action, in addition to Luffy's gum stretchable tongue action. It's not shown in the trailer, but it's probably safe to assume he can yak paralysis balls at you too, so watch out for that. It shouldn't come off as a surprise as its armor and gear were shown off in the Hunting Horn Spotlight trailer, but the Basarios, everyone's favorite rock wyvern from the OG games, and especially from GU, continues to prove that it's a master at hide rocks and seek. It'll roar at you, explosive fart on you, and it's cut off here, but it'll rock and roll on you because you know, rock and roll. Haha. Now for the actual new monsters. Labeled in Japanese as the Queen Spider, the Rakna Kadaki is our new fire arachnid that inhabits the lava caverns. Similar to the Nucilla, it utilizes its webs in order to immobilize its prey and to move around the environment. Here you can see it shoots out multiple streams of webs that are shot and steadily streamed outwards. It also shoots off its offspring, the Arachnoids, which helps its mother by supporting its movement and to catch her prey. We'll most likely have to watch out for combo attacks from the adds in addition to the Kadaki. One particularly nasty combo it can seemingly perform is immobilizing the hunter with its web and following up with its fire breath. The hunter looks like they get hit with the fire blight but don't get knocked away and out of the web. Now, as we can't see the UI, it would be really disgusting if you get fire blighted on top of taking a chunk of damage, on top of not getting knocked out of the web, because it could lead up to a potentially fatal follow-up attack. Next up, we've got the new Mud Wyvern, the Almudron, who makes appearances in the Shrine Ruins and Sandy Plains. This monster, who looks like a Mizu if Mizu decided to roll in the mud, utilizes, you guessed it, mud to attack and defend itself. Some of its attacks include sending mud waves at the hunter in addition to tapping into its inner earthbender to create walls that can be jumped off of and scaled, while it jumps into the air, throwing more mud at the hunter. It's not shown in the trailer, but according to the site, it can use a strange golden fluid that can dissolve the ground beneath its prey to arrest them in mire and drag them under. It's probably also safe to assume, but the gear that comes from this monster is most likely the Switch Axe Spotlight trailer armor. Last but not least, the Rampage. The central plot piece of Rise gets touched up on again. The Rampage is a phenomenon seemingly tied to the Magnamalo, where the Magnamalo and a horde of countless monsters attack the village all at once. Nobody knows why it occurs, but Kamuna Village seems to have fallen victim to the Rampage multiple times, including a Rampage that nearly wiped out the entire village 50 years prior to the start of Rise. True to what's said in the dialogue, you can see that a large number of monsters can be shown on the map all at once. Monsters ranging from Tetranodon and Basarios, going up to even Rajang and Tigrex, can all show up and attack at once. There's probably a good chance that the siege weapons found on the map, namely the Ballista, Cannon, the Gong, Gatling Ballista, and the Dragonator, will probably be a lot more important to utilize during this quest. Mugen, the village chief, also shouts out how we can't lose this gate, so what I'd like to assume is that the Rampage quest will play out similar to Lao Shan Long quest, where it'll either move in sections blocked off by walls, or the main keep will have endurance, which when dropped to 0 will fail the quest. Also, the return of Apex monsters? Nah, just kidding. Though 4U veterans will remember Apex monsters differently, the APEX ARZUROS here seems like it's a very powered up version of the ARZUROS. As you can see, you can tell that it's an Apex due to the colorization of the monster, where it's a lot darker and glows similarly to that of the Stygian Zinogre. Or maybe even the Magnamalo. What's interesting to note is that in the Japanese version of the trailer, Apex is referred to Nushi, which can mean main or leader. What I'm assuming is that the monsters during a rampage can be Apex or the leader of the rampage. Perhaps if you kill the Apex monster, it'll clear the quest, or at the very least, it means that Apex is Rise's version of World's Tempered Monsters, so we might be able to expect Rampage-specific materials. It also looks like the Rampage quest can be done in multiplayer with other players and with useful NPCs. That's right, I know what I said. Useful NPCs. Here, I thought that Aiden was going to be the last useful NPC back from Iceborne's Fatalis fight, but here we get to see Iori and Yomogi holding a charge blade and heavy bowgun respectively. And wouldn't you know it, the quest maidens Hinoa and Minato are shown holding a bow and lance respectively. World Handler? I barely knew her! It's safe to assume that if you're not playing multiplayer with other people, when you play solo Rampage quests, you'll most likely be able to have NPCs tag along to help you in these quests. As a result, I'm pretty sure the difficulty will reflect based off of whether or not you're playing multiplayer or solo with NPCs. One thing to note is that if you take a look at some of the Rampage gameplay, it looks like up to 4 or 5 monsters can be put on the map at once. In this particular example, you'll see from left to right the Agnosum, the Bishaten, the Great Izuchi, and finally the Kezu. The Rampage scene shows 5 total monsters, so the 5th could potentially be the Apex monster. It's still pretty crazy to think that the Switch can render 5, let alone 4 monsters at this kind of fidelity. That about covers everything in the trailer. We're getting closer and closer to the release date of Rise, and I cannot stress how excited I am for this game. Take it for someone that spent hundreds of hours playing the demo and hundreds more hours speedrunning the crap out of Mizutsune with Longsword. Yes, I know the game comes out next month. Yes, I know it's just a demo and it won't matter when the game comes out next month, but damn it, I do not care. This is the best thing I can do until the game actually launches. Speaking of launch, don't forget that the Direct also announced that the Monster Hunter Rise themed Switch console and controller will actually be released in the Western market. No pre-orders seem to be up as of now, but be sure to keep an eye out because they will seriously sell out really quick. Don't forget to follow me live on Twitch where I do a lot of variety and Monster Hunter action. I'm still shooting for a sub 4 longsword run on Mizu, so please, for the love of God, give me all your RNG. That's it for me, Cart Masters. As always, stay safe, get mad, get sad, have fun, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye! Oh my god. And it made me whip. Okay. Okay. Holy shit, man. Actually, Monka S. Okay, that was pretty cool. Damn! If it stopped being dumb for like 10 seconds, that could have been it.